Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma. With me as always is Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock-related queries. In a short while from now, we will connect with our experts and you can connect us with the live WhatsApp number that will be flashing on the top of your screen. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Cheryl, what a good move on the markets today, and it's the Bank Nifty that's on the roll today.
Absolutely, a very good morning to you, Shrishti. And if you look at the markets, definitely a good comeback coming in for the benchmark indices after it actually saw a mild bit of a dip to the negative territory on an intraday basis. So right now, if you look at the markets, it's definitely seeing a good recovery at the day's hard spawn coming in for the benchmark indices. And like Shrishti was mentioning, it is the Nifty Bank that is seeing a good steady up move in trade today, while the rest of the markets, actually broader markets and the benchmark indices, saw a dip. It was the Nifty Bank that held forth, and that's how it is looking strong in trade today. 0.8% uptick coming in for Nifty Bank as we speak. Also, you have the broader markets that have actually seen a solid comeback from the day's lowest point. However, if we look at the advanced decline ratio, a tad bit tilt towards the declines as we speak. Let's take a look at the list of the gainers in trade today, and one of the top gainers on the Nifty is Divi's Laboratories. You have Adani Ports, HDFC Bank, TCS as well as IndusInd among the other set of gainers. While on the flip side, you have ONGC that's taking it a bit easy in trade today, 2% down to coming in for ONGC. Adani Enterprises, Aishu Motors, Wipro as well as Coal India are the other set of losers in trade today. If you look at the sectoral indices, and the picture there is the PSU sector actually that is taking a bit easy in trade today. In fact, most of the PSU counters are near the day's lowest point as we speak, as well as the energy index is taking a bit easy. Auto is also in the negative territory, while on the flip side is the IT, is banks, is realty that are holding the fort. So that's the way how the markets are looking like at this point in time. Shrishti, definitely the markets did scale almost a fresh record as well in trade today.
Well, yes, and that's the Bank Nifty that is taking the lead, and a lot of pharma names also buzzing on the back of the earnings from the likes of Glenmark, Divi's. They have all come out with a very strong management commentary. Even for Aurobindo Pharma, the commentary was not that great, but the stock is seen to be recovered from the day's lowest point. But with this, let's move on, viewers, and let's kickstart taking all your stock-related queries then. And before that, let me welcome on board two of our very special guests for today. Ashish Maheshwari is joining us on the fundamental side, and to guide you technically, Kunal Bothra is here with us live in the studios. A very good morning to both of you, and thank you so much for your time. Let me take the first query then that we have, and this one is coming in from Rakesh Delhi. Ashish, let me take it from you. He wants to invest in Hindustan Zinc. Given the run-up, is this a good price to enter into Hindustan Zinc, and for the long term, what's the outlook?
If you see Hindustan Zinc, almost from lows of 300, has stopped up to 800 rupees. And now some consolidation is happening in this particular stock. So in my view, first of all, as the commodity cycle is on up move, because the kind of action we have seen in zinc, copper, nickel, steel, everywhere momentum is there. So I'm also expecting Hindustan Zinc will keep on coming out with flying set of numbers in this year. So my suggestion will be to add this stock at 700 rupees. I'm expecting in 1 year target will be around 900 rupees in Hindustan Zinc. As far as commodities are concerned, overall I am bullish in this year.
All right, let's take the next query then, and this one is coming in from Sam. He's writing to us from Goa. This one is for you, Kunal. He wants a technical view on Nalco for the short term. His buy price is 198 rupees per share. What's your take coming in on Nalco? Do you see much higher targets for the stock going ahead?
So I think some bit of consolidation is on the way. The stock has already gone through a correction. I think some 7-8 points from the highs of 200 approximately. I believe that maybe the stock can get into one more leg of correction that could be due, because the bounce on the stock is missing over the last few days, and what we've seen is the stock making a pattern of lower highs at least. So I think that could probably put some pressure on the stock. So I would suggest that you can continue to hold on to the stock, but I think an immediate breakout could probably happen to the stock once it breaks past about the 195 plus mark.
All right. Kunal, one more query coming in for you. This one is from Sangeeta, holding 75 shares of IRB from a price of 70 rupees. What is the future outlook, and should she continue holding it for the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, I think so. I believe that the stock is confirming a breakout on the charts. I think 74, 75 was the previous high, major highs for IRB, and this is the third attempt for the stock towards the 74 plus mark, which means eventually in the next maybe few weeks, if the market continues to remain a bit more stable, then we may probably expect the stock to get into a breakout. So it's a bit of a touch and go as of now, but because of the recent chart patterns and the stability into the stock price, I would suggest a hold.
All right, this one is coming in from Sanjay, and he wants to know about Praj Industries, if it's a good one to buy right now. What's your take coming in on Praj? Ashish, do you think it's a good bet to look at right now, given the fact that you've seen Praj also see a lot of up move on back of their ethanol play as well?
Yes, as far as Praj Industries is concerned, in fact, it has corrected quite a bit from its high, and stock has not given that sort of return which fundamentally it should give. So, in my view, still like the stock is into deep consolidation or deep correction phase. Fundamentally, nothing wrong with the company, but has not rewarded shareholders well. So, in my view, you should wait for 475 kind of mark to make a fresh entry. For time being, I can see some more pressure in the stock.
Moving on, and Kunal, Sunita Rai from Bangalore wants best levels to enter into Canara Bank, and she also wants to know about one more stock, that is Ratan India Power, which is doing quite well on the technical front at least. What's the outlook? Should she enter Ratan India Power at any price?
So Ratan India Power, I don't track, so I'll probably skip that. And I think if I'm not wrong, the stock is also in the ASM list, which is straight to trade. And also, I think on the other hand, I think if I'm not wrong, the stock has been hitting upper circuit. So, these circuit kind of stocks, they tend to be a bit tricky, because if in case and when the stock gets into a corrective phase, you may probably get, the near-term trend to be a lot more impactful to the stock price. So I'll skip that. Canara Bank, on the other hand, if you're looking out for ideal levels, I think the adjusted price, after the adjusted price, this 108 mark seems to be a good support for Canara Bank. And I think over the last 4 months from February odd, the stock had been taking support twice at this 108 mark. So that seems to be a very strong support so far. I would probably believe that if in case the stock dips down to those levels, could be a good buying zone.
All right, this one is coming in from Mika, who's writing to us from UAE, and this one's for you, Kunal. Moil Kalyan Jewelers Coal India. Is there any scope for an up move in these counters in the near term? And if so, what are the levels that she can look to enter?
Moil Kalyan Jewelers as well as
Coal India.
Coal India.
You can either take either two of them or all three.
So all three of them are attractive in terms of charts. Coal India, of course, it's a much more higher pedigree stock in that sense. So which means that there could be a much more stronger, durable uptrend to Coal India. But because of the recent run up, of course, you may not see an immediate upside into the stock price. But if you have a long-term time horizon, then I believe Coal India at current levels, and in case if there is any kind of a dip towards 450 mark, should be a good buying opportunity as well as a hold from your portfolio perspective. And out of the two names, Moil as well as Kalyan Jewelers, I would believe Kalyan Jewelers could be an interesting bet, looking at the way the gold prices have moved and could probably inch up going forward. I believe at current levels of 400 approximately, it could be a good bet.
All right, moving on. And Ashish, the next query that I have is coming from Anand from Bangalore, holding 1,000 shares of EIH Limited from a price of 200 rupees. What is the outlook on this particular counter? Any advice to book out some profits right now, or can he continue holding it for a target of 500 rupees?
See, hotel stock, you are making ample money. I think you have bought this stock almost at 52-week low bottom, and stock has given very handsome returns. So instead of this, I'll suggest you look for some high growth hotel stock like Lemon Tree Hotel, which can give you much better returns now, because in my view, EIH is fully priced at 450, and for quite some time we haven't seen any movement. Besides, Lemon Tree can give you better returns.
All right, this next query that I have is coming in from Ajay, and this one's for you, Ashish. He's asking for a long-term buy out of the list of stocks that he's mentioned. Which one does look attractive? One is MOSL, Then he has NAM India, Nuvama, BSE or IOC. Out of these 5 companies, which one do you think looks good and well poised for the long term?
And the best pick is Novama Wealth in my view, because the way wealth management business and the investment banking business is picking up, though this stock has delivered superb return in last 6 months or since listing, but it has more potential to inch new highs. So Novama Wealth is my pick number one. Second pick is Bombay Stock Exchange. In my view, again, this I'm expecting 3,000 rupees plus mark in BSE once the next quarterly number comes. So these two are my favorite pick out of the all picks what you have mentioned.
All right, that's the day coming in on BSC. But with this, viewers, it's time to slip into a very short break in this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to take more of your stock-related queries. Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock-related queries then. And Ashish, coming to you for the next query. This one is coming in from Satya, and he wants, he's already holding Devyani International. 170 is a buy price, and he wants an advice that from Devyani International, since the stock is seen to be consolidating in a tight range, should he go ahead and switch to a stock of restaurant brand Asia? What will be your advice on this particular counter, or else Motherson Sumi wiring? Will that be a good bet?
Yes, so Motherson Sumi will be better bet instead of restaurant stock, because if you see, none of these stocks have given good returns because of again the pricing pressure, competition, and so many other things. So Devyani is again a stock which is offering is 52-week low. At the same time, Restaurant Asia is also not going anywhere. So Motherson wiring will be surely a better bet compared to these two.
Coming back to you, Ashish, once again, this one's from Sandeep from Noida, and he has 560 shares of IEX for the long term, and his long term is really long term. 10 years plus or more is what he's planning to hold on to IEX. He's not giving me the buy price of his purchase, but what's your take coming in on IEX? Do you think this one is a formidable player that you can stay put with for the next 10 years, or does it make sense to look at some other counters?
First of all, it's again a proxy play to the power sector. The way power stocks are going up, IEX will also be major beneficiary, because now not many governments are signing PPAs. So a lot of power is being sold and purchased through IEX kind of exchanges only. So they have a bright future. Only thing is we have seen a consistent kind of set of numbers from them quarter over quarter, and no exponential growth we could see. That is why stock is slightly subdued. But if you're a long-term investor, you can stay invested in 5 to 10 years, because the prospects and future of these companies are looking very bright in long run.
All right, moving on to the next query. And Kunal, this one is specifically for you, coming in from Srinivasan. He wants an advice on two counters. Firstly is NBCC, where he's holding the stock from a price of 145 rupees. And he also has 2,800 shares of Vodafone Idea from a price of 13 rupees 60 paise. What is the outlook for the next 6 months for both of these names?
I would recommend a hold on both of these names. Vodafone Idea, I think yesterday in the sense Friday saw a jump of almost 15% in terms of open interest, and that could be a strong trigger for the stock over the near term, expecting the stock to inch up higher gradually from current levels of 15 approximately. And for NBCC also, I think the stock has been quite strong in terms of the long-term trend. It's been going through a patch of consolidation, and since you've bought at more or less the current market price, I believe it makes a lot of prudent sense to hold on to the stock at current levels also.
All right, this was coming from Fred. He wants a medium to long-term view, actually, Ashish. He has Siemens. He's holding the stock with a 90% profit right now. And he has HUL in his portfolio, where he's seeing 10% loss. Now, he wants to know whether he should take some chips off the table, hold the cash till election verdict is announced, or should he look to reinvest the money somewhere else? What sort of strategy should he adopt? Should he come out of these counters, or partially book loss or partially book profit in them? Or should I rather just exit these counters and reinvest the money somewhere else?
So these are the counters which will keep on their northward journey, irrespective of what is election verdict. If you see companies like Siemens, what kind of numbers were there? For 500 crore, they made in December quarter, March quarter was 800 crore plus. So I don't think so. Like any project will get installed because of any change in government, etc. So and again, HUL is a stock. HUL is a stock which is again in a blue chip category, and now after a long pause, we have seen some momentum again happening in FMCG play. Though HUL and underperform, but going forward it will also catch up. So no point in booking losses here. And Siemens is again a long-term very good bet. My target for 1 year is even 10,000 rupees in Siemens because the kind of management commentary and growth is envisaged in such counters.
All right, moving on to the next one. And Kunal, what's your outlook on HAL after a strong run up? Sandy is holding 3 lots of HAL. He didn't share his buy price, but wants to know that is this a good time to like book out some profits at this point or continue to hold on, or can he buy some more if there's a probability for this counter to cross 5,500 mark?
Yeah, I think booking out profits over here could be a better strategy for HAL. The only concern with the stock price right now is the indicators which are extremely overbought. Now, I understand that the stock is into a very thick momentum and every now and then the stock gets into a breakout mode. But with such overbought nature of indicators, I think it could just be a matter of time that the stock gets into a corrective phases. If you don't want to book out full profits, assumingly, or if you want to just book out maybe partial profits and then hold on to the balance, then I would suggest a trailing stop loss for the remainder. I'm not sure of the cost price, but I think I would probably believe 5,000 could be a good roundup, cost trailing stop loss for your futures holding for HAL.
Alright, this one is coming from Bharat S and he wants to know about Ease My Trip. 100 shares at a price of 44 rupees per share. He wants to know what's the future growth outlook for this one. Should he keep this stock in his portfolio or look to exit? What's your take coming in on this one in particular, Ashish, given the fact that his buy price is very close to where the stock is currently now?
Yeah, EasyJet is a stock which is not going anywhere for quite some time. Though today they have come out with front page full ad in Economic Times, giving their growth numbers, etc. Also, but I think this one-time write-off, what they took in Go Air, advanced ticket purchases, etc., is taking toll on their numbers. But going forward, future prospects look good of all these travel companies. But I think this is a bet like, or you need to keep a stop loss say of 42 rupees and hold and exit at 50 to 50 odd rupees.
All right, then moving on. And Ashish, once again coming to you, this query is from Satya Venia, and he's been wanting to know some of your bets from the power space. Any two top ideas from the power sector that he can continue holding it for the next 1 year, and any good entry price as well, given the run up in all of these power names?
See, I'll like to go with more power finance companies instead of power producing companies because they serve too wide range of companies as such. So my first pick is here is Power Finance Corporation. In my view, they are going to have almost 1 lakh crore kind of loan book size and 20% growth is clear roadmap given by them for next 5 years. So PFC is pick number one. And second is the IRIDA. In my view, this is a stock which should be also bought even at this price because by FY30 they are also talking of 3.5 lakh crore of loan book, which is quite positive. And there's a reason these stocks are going up, and like a lot of institutional interest is there in both of them. So both of them are in my buy radar.
This next one is coming in from Peter, who's writing to us from Trichy, and he wants to know what's the best entry price coming in for Dr. Reddy's. Kunal, what's your take coming in for Dr. Reddy's? What's the best entry price for this particular counter?
See, right now the stock is showing signs of a formation of lower highs and lower lows. I think the recent correction from 6,400 towards 5,800, where the stock has corrected towards, indicates that a breakdown has already happened for the stock price, which means that the previous swing lows were around 5,920. Those are those levels have been breached. Now the next level of support for Dr. Reddy is around 5,600 mark. So I would believe that just wait out for maybe this corrective phase to play out. In case if the stock retests the 5,600 mark, that could be a better support point as well as a re-entry point for Dr. Reddy.
All right, Kunal, Subrata Mukherjee wants to know that at this point, given the momentum, should he enter any of the fertilizer stocks right now or any of the sugar stocks as well for the short to medium term?
See, Chambal Fertilizers is something which is looking attractive on the charts. I've been tracking the stock for the last 2 months, and the previous month or the month prior to that, the rally which had started for Chambal Fertilizer at 365, 370 mark towards 420, 30 plus mark. The stock looked very attractive. The volumes were quite strong, and right now also I think the stock is coming back into a breakout mode. So that's a stock which looks attractive. From the sugar pack, I think Balrampur Chini is a stock to look out for, because it seems like that the stock is trying to make a very strong comeback. EID Paris is another name which has been looking quite strong. Praj Industries has been consolidating sugar related spaces, but I think that's also something which you can consider buying at current levels.
All right, on that note, we'll actually slip into a break in this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. When we come back, we will continue taking all of the stock related queries, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, and let's continue taking all of the stock-related queries then. And this next query is coming in from Reshma Bhatia, and she has PFC as well as REC, which she bought recently in a portfolio, Kunal. And she's saying that both the stocks, despite her buying recently, has given her about 15% profit already. But she's wondering if there would be any volatility in the markets on come June 4th when you have the verdict come out of the Lok Sabha elections. She wants to know whether she should go ahead and book some profits in the short term in both of these counters.
Yeah, I think as a blanket strategy, I think it could be a good strategy to try and book out profits for stocks where you've already seen a buffer for yourself in terms of returns, because it's very difficult to try and predict that what the markets could be on the result day. There could be a huge swing, because these events could probably result into huge swings into stock prices, as well as of course for the overall market. So I think having a straight line view, expecting that the markets would continue to reward in a similar fashion what we've seen over the last few weeks, could be a bit of a stretch. So I would believe that in that scenario, it makes a lot of sense to try and book out partial profits, or the percentage profits, depending on how much risk you are willing to take as an overall portfolio.
All right, moving on, and Ashish, any take on GMR Power? Rajiv from Mumbai wants to know about this particular counter, like what is the prospects, and should he go ahead and buy this counter at this price?
See, as far as GMR Power and urban infra stock is concerned, it has also given excellent return to investors. And from 16 rupees, 16, 17 rupees stock has given almost 500% return. So now some consolidation is happening, but anyway, the major triggers are the way smart meter implementation they are doing, or the demand is picking up there. This company will continue to do well. So my suggestion will be, if you want to fresh enter, just wait for 60 odd rupees then enter. In long run, it's a good pick.
Coming from Binoy from Kerala, he has 600 shares of Cochin Shipyard, which he's purchased at levels of about 362 rupees per share, saying that he can hold on for the long term, or should he go ahead and book profits? Kunal, what's your take coming on Cochin Shipyard? Because the buy price was extremely good, extremely attractive, and he's making spectacular returns already.
Yeah, so I think it could be a good strategy to try and book out at least partial profits over here. I'm not sure whether you've already done it with respect to your previous holding quantity. But if not, then I think at least at current levels, you can consider booking out partial profits just on the back of the event and the possibility that the markets can be a bit more volatile going into the event. So I think just on that front, I would believe that booking out some profits and taking some, or raising some cash could be a good strategy for Cochin Shipyard also.
All right, this one is coming in from Jawad Khan, who's writing to us for the first time. He's writing to us from Bangalore, and he has Tata Power at a price of around 400 rupees odd shares, 400 rupees per share at around 1,400 shares is what he has in his portfolio. He wants to know whether he should book profits or continue to hold on to this counter. What's your take, Ashish, coming in on Tata Power? He's making decent profits on this one, about 50 rupees per share. He's making profits off. What should he do with his Tata Power in his portfolio? Look to book out profits or stay put for the long term?
No, I'll suggest to remain invested, as I am overall bullish on power sector, and the way power demand has gone up in this quarter. Companies like Tata Power are going to report excellent set of numbers. because they've increased the power tariff, etc. too. So, in my view, continue to remain invested here.
All right, this next one is coming in from Sagar, and he wants a fundamental view on Voltam transformers as well as transformers and rectifiers. He's saying both are into the transformer space. He's holding a nice chunk from about 100 rupees or 1002 rupees per share levels for Voltam, and 63 rupees per share is what he's holding transformers and rectifiers from. He wants to know what's the outlook coming in on the sector as a whole. Actually, Ashish, how much growth and margins are you expecting in the sector, at least in the next 5 years on a CAGR basis? Also, any other stocks in the power ancillary space you like?
See, this has been a very good sector to remain invested because the way power demand is going up, there are two, three factors which are driving the growth of transformer sector. First of all, whatever new power generation is building up, you require transformer for last mile connectivity. As well as solar is coming into big way where all these companies are making transformers, are getting a lot of traction. And third is the big replacement and export market. So these companies are bound to do well, not for 1 year, 2 year, but at least next 5 years. So this is the reason stocks like Voltamp from 3,500 is now quoting almost at 12,000 rupees, and TNR also from 2 digit it went up to I think 70, 80 rupees to 600 rupees plus. And in my view, they will continue to do well because of whatever the headwinds they are having in this industry. So you have picked the right sector. Transformer rectifier, Voltamp, ABB, and Silchar Technologies. These are the good picks here.
Right, and for power ancillary, then which one would you say that apart from the regular NTPC, Adani Power, which one do you like in the power space in particular?
See, in power generation space, then again, as Adani, again, I'm very bullish as far as Adani Power is concerned. And if you look at other stock in this sector, I like to go with power again ancillary, which is Phenolics Cable, which has came out with excellent set of numbers, along with the Havels India is the stock which I like in this segment now.
Moving on then, Kunal, coming to you, Krishna from Bangalore has written to us. He's holding Kajaria Ceramics at a buy price of around 1,195 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should book profits or hold on for the next 3 months. What's your take coming in on Kajaria?
I would suggest to hold on to the stock, relatively low beta stock, but I think it's gone through a tough phase of correction over the last 6 odd months from 1500 towards 1150 mark. And I believe that at current levels of 1300, the stock looks fairly attractive, and expecting the stock to come back towards 1450 mark to 1500 over the medium term, say in the span of the next 6 months or so. So I think if you have that kind of a time frame, continue to hold on.
All right, this one is coming in from Alex, who's writing to us from Coimbatore. He has 3,200 shares of BEL at a price of 91 rupees per share. Kunal, BEL, is it a hold or should he go ahead and book profits at this one? Because yes, 91 rupees per share, an amazing buy price.
Yeah, absolutely amazing buy price. So it depends again, as I said, that if you are okay with holding on to the stock on the, in terms of the next week election outcome, and if the markets are a bit more volatile, you might expect these stocks to get into an odd phase of correction. So it makes a good sense to try and book out partial profits over here for your holdings. But if you're absolutely okay with it, holding on to the stock, and if you're a long-term player and not worried about too much of volatility going into the event, then I would suggest continue to hold on to the stock. Depends on, as I said, how much is the risk appetite which you're willing to, and how much is your overall portfolio construct.
Okay, Ashish, this next query we have is from Gaurav from Bangalore, and it is on PFC and REC for the long term. Are they still looking attractive to enter even at this rate?
I'm as far as my view is concerned, I'm very bullish on power finance stock because whatever even a single megawatt power is generated, it is being funded by your PFCs, RECs, or the IRENA kind of companies. And the way government has made their plan for expansion of solar power, that every roof in India should have solar power. So these agencies like PFC, REDA, RECs are only going to fund this. So I'm expecting exponential set of numbers coming from these companies, not 1 2 years, but next 5 years. Even if you see REC numbers, the kind of growth was there, even quarter over quarter, they are showing exponential growth in their revenue. So PFC, REC, RIDA, all three are in my buying radar. In my view, all these stocks will go even more higher once the election results are announced.
Okay, this one is coming in from Sandeep Sharma. I believe his query is already taken. And Sandeep, in case you missed the query, then you can catch the entire episode. It will be uploaded on YouTube, so you can actually go through your query over there once again. Then let me take this next one. Is coming in from Arjun. And he wants to know about Tata Power. We've already taken a query on Tata Power where actually Ashish is pretty bullish on this particular counter, and given the fact that your buy price is also very attractive, 253 rupees per share. The other query he has is on Geo Finance, 200 shares at a price of 370 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should continue to stay put with both of these counters for the next 2 to 3 years, and also should he add some more in his portfolio. What's your take, Ashish? Tata Power, you've definitely said that you're very bullish on the stock. Earlier reviewer, you advised him to stay put with it. The same advice for Arjun, for Tata Power and for Geo Finance?
Yes, I think both of stock you can continue remain invested because in Geo Financial Services, one or other news of tie-ups or their various other activities will keep on coming. So this stock will always remain in limelight. And once they start their full-fledged operation, again stock will get re-rated. As far as Tata Power is concerned, I have already given my bullish view. In my view, slowly the stock will inch toward 500 rupees maybe in next 6 months. But I don't see any downside risk from the in Tata Power from.
Kunal, this next query is from Vivek. It is on a Dredging Corp. They're holding 300 shares of Dredging Corp, making 100% profit here. What's the view for the mid to short term? Should they continue to hold on, or maybe they could expect some bit of a further run up now?
I think it's a bit of an illiquid stock, if I'm not wrong. I think it's the average trading volume is around 40-50,000 per day, except for the last few days, where the stock has been running up quite steeply and the volumes have moved up higher. So I think you have to be a bit wary of that. But I think on the short-term charts, it still looks attractive. If you wish to continue to hold on, I would believe that keep a trailing stop loss of the previous gap support, which is closer to 938 to 940 mark for Dredging Corp.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Dredging Corp. But on that note, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, continue taking your queries. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now on ET Now. Let's keep it going with all the stock related queries that you all have sent us. Kunal, this next query we have is from Mali from Hyderabad. They're holding Electra Green Tech, 200 shares at a price of 1,900 rupees per share. What is the view now on Electra Green Tech, and should they continue to hold or maybe look to sell out?
Continue to hold on. I think the stock is coming back into a mild uptrend after a strong patch of consolidation over the last 3 months or so. I think 1600, 1650 seems to be a good base for the stock price, and it's come back slightly higher from those strong base zones for Electra Green Tech. The stock is also showing some evidence of a breakout above key short-term moving averages. So also that could probably keep the stock into a bit of an uptrending mode. So I would suggest to hold on to the stock, and near-term targets for Electra Green Tech, you can keep it closer to 2000 levels.
All right, this one is coming from Sanjeev, and he wants to know about Subro's post its results yesterday. He wants to know what's the potential, or rather post its results recently that it has posted. He wants to know what's the potential growth in the next 1 year or so. Do you track this one closely, Ashish, Subro's, and what sort of an outlook do you have when you talk about the fundamentals and the growth of the company going ahead?
See, fundamentally, we see very good results. Like this company has declared recently from 47 to 97 crore, if I remember correctly, profit went up in this year. And the way air conditioning requirements are going up in all the cars, because now all cars are having air conditioner, where Subros is one of again major players. So they will continue to do well. I'm expecting this year they'll do at least 120 crore kind of a net profit looking at their March run rate. Only thing is slightly liquid stock and move slowly, but ultimately it is a direct beneficiary of whatever automobile boom we are witnessing. So if you want to buy, I think 600 is a good level to end.
Kunal, Shipping Corporation of India, that's the query from Karthik from Chennai, wants to know for a 2-month time period, how is this one looking?
So again, I think because of the event, I would probably believe that a better buying zone could be at a bit of a reversal or a support point for Shipping Corporation of India. That support I think is closer to 248, 250 approximately. This also is the previous critical swing high for Shipping Corporation of India. So maybe another 5% on the downside, and that could be a good entry point for the stock if you're looking at short term kind of a time frame, 2 months.
Alright, this one is coming from D. Mazumdar, writing to us from Odisha. He has 130 shares of Adani Green, which he's purchased at the levels of about 198 rupees per share. He wants to add more, but average price will increase and the profit will decrease. So he's confused. He doesn't know what to do. What sort of a strategy should he actually use when it comes to this particular counter, Kunal?
Yeah, of course. When you're adding a quantity at higher levels after you've initiated at lower levels, you may probably see that the cost price would be higher. But that's not the best way to try and assess, because when you're buying stocks in a trending mode, you always have to look out for if in case if you're looking to buy the stock at higher levels, then your average price would keep on moving up higher. But then if the stock continues to move up higher, then because you've added new quantity or higher quantity, the quantum of profits would eventually scale up or grow up. So I think you have to look at it in that manner. Adani Green seems to be a bullish chart as of now, and as I said, assuming if there is no major kind of volatility into the stock price, say in the next 1 week, 10 days or so, then I believe that you can continue to hold on as well as look to add also.
Ashish, Jayakrishnan has a query on Angel One. They're holding the shares at a price of 2,775 rupees. For the medium term, what is the outlook for Angel One? Should they continue to hold or maybe look to exit and buy something like Bharat Dynamics?
See, again, both are different plays. Angel One is a part of financial services and a stockbroking vertical, and they are doing extremely well, if you ask me. At the same time, BDL is again in defense pack, and which is quite trending, and stock has given very good return of late. So, like we can't just compare the sale Angel One and buying Bharat Dynamics. Depend upon which kind of sector you like to take a bet. As far as Angel One is concerned, as you have bought the stock at slightly higher rate, I'll not advise you to book loss. I'll suggest to remain invested. And I'm expecting price target of 2,800 rupees maybe in next couple of months. So once you book some gains in Angel One, then you can shift to any other stock. But don't book loss now.
All right, with that, let's kickstart with the rapid fire then. The first query coming in from Praveen from Bangalore. Syngene is the stock, 718 is the buy price. So what's your take for the next 4 to 6 months, Kunal?
Not sure of 4 to 6 months, but I think if you're a long-term investor, then definitely hold.
Ashish, we have Gautam from Mumbai who wants to know on Aditya Birla Sun Life. They're holding the stock at a price of 453. Should they continue to hold this or maybe sell and buy Aditya Birla Capital?
Yeah, that will be better strategy. Buy Aditya Birla Capital and book gains here.
All right, Kunal, Srinath wants to know about RVNL. Is it a good time to buy RVNL at current price, and what's the short-term target for RVNL?
Wait out for a correction, maybe closer to 355, 360 could be a better price.
The viewer Naman wants to know on NHPC. They're holding it at a price of 103 for the next 1 to 2 months. What should they do?
Continue to hold on.
All right, this one is coming from Baiju from Kerala. He wants to know if BEL or Excite batteries, out of these two, which one is a good bet for the long term, Ashish?
Excite batteries.
Ashish, we have Krish who wants to know whether ITD cementation is looking attractive to buy at current levels for the long term.
Yes, already stock is there 50-week high, so given good return, you can buy.
Alright, this one is coming in from N. Gopal Krishnan. He wants to know about Indian Bank, Kunal, 1,150 shares at 221 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should book profits or stay put for the next 1 year.
Continue to hold on.
Okay, the next query we have, and this one is from the viewer who wants to know in terms of Geo Financials, but I think we've already answered, so I'll skip this query. This next one is on overall Alkem. Kunal, March futures for Alkem, they're holding at 5,100. What should they do?
Continue to hold on, keep a trailing stop loss of 5,300.
Okay, Snigdha from Delhi wants to know about Bank of Baroda. 272 is the buy price, 900 shares for the medium term. What's the outlook, Kunal?
Very bullish on the stock, continue to hold on.
Ashish, Timex for the long term, how is that looking?
Unfortunately, I don't track this stock.
All right, with that, we come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the query segment. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Ashish, for joining us on the show and also resolving so many queries today. We've taken almost, I believe, in excess of around 35 queries. That is apart from the rapid fire. Thanks so much for joining us on the show. With that, actually, let's put the spotlight on the Lok Sabha elections that's underway, and voting was held for the 6th and the penultimate phase of the Lok Sabha elections in 58 seats across 8 states and union territories, and the turnout in the 6th phase is still way lower than polling in the first 4 phases. With phase 6 done, voting is now over in 486 seats across 28 states and union territories. We now look ahead at the 57 seats up for grabs in the final phase on June 1st. And Arvind Kejriwal filed a new petition in the Supreme Court seeking extension of interim bail by 7 days for medical tests. The apex court refused to entertain Kejriwal's request of granting him interim bail on June 5th. The Delhi Chief Minister has been asked to surrender on June 2nd. And after the overwhelming turnout in Jammu and Kashmir, Home Minister Amit Shah says the Prime Minister's J&K policy has been vindicated. He assures the assembly polls in Jammu and Kashmir will be completed by 30th of September this year.
And Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Varda said that the public is gravely concerned about inflation. She also accused PM Modi of creating a rift between communities. She also alleged that the PM does not use the word inflation. And days ahead of his slated retirement, Army Chief General Manoj Pandey gets a month's extension amid speculation on successor. Move set to potentially impact line of succession in force, and OSC raises questions over the move, says armed forces should be kept out of politics.
All right, and those are all the top headlines when you talk about the elections and also national agenda. But with that, we're totally out of time on this edition of Vine Our Senna. It's a goodbye from Vinny, Shrishti, myself, and the team that put the show together. Thank you so much for watching.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.